Good day. Our topic is political ideology. Learning competency. Identify the basic tenets of major political ideologies, namely liberalism, socialism, conservatism. What is ideology? Ideology refers to a set of beliefs and ideals that shape an individual or a group's view, actions, and interactions with the world. Keyword there is belief and ideals of a certain individual or a group. What is political ideology? Political ideology is a set of beliefs and ideas that define political activities, policies, and events. This kind of ideology focuses on the political aspect, the policies and events of a certain country or a state. An ideology has four key functions. First, it explains how society and politics are organized and how various aspects of politics works. It means that there is a certain kind of ideology that focuses on the study of how society and politics are organized. Example, in the concept of liberalism, the society there is free and politics or how society is organized, meaning there is a set of laws governing them and how various aspects of politics work. So in liberalism, there is a certain leader that guides their people. Second, it evaluates whether a certain political action or program is good or bad. So meaning there is a certain kind or type of political ideology that focuses on evaluating whether a program or action is good or bad. Example, liberalism. In the context of creating a law or implementing a law, there is a tendency that there would be a corruption or a misuse of funds because there is freedom, there is a law, but still corruption and other anomalies are inevitable. You cannot force people to stay on a certain rule, but still they violate. So there should be a strong system of government in a liberal type of ideology or a liberal type of democracy. So later on, we will tackle about that type of ideology. An ideology orients those who subscribe to it to have a sense of identity and direction. It means that there is a certain group of people who share a common identity because they share a common belief. Example, those liberal countries who wanted that abortion is legal, marijuana is legal. So there are a certain group that they have this common belief that they share a common ideology. So it provides a program or plan of action that will bring about political change. So there are also type of ideology that can be used to create a plan or a program to make an action or to bring about a political change. Example, in the concept of capitalism. Capitalism, this kind of ideology that focuses on a certain group of individuals who wanted to do business, okay? But there is a certain group that they wanted to have equality and to overthrow capitalism, that is socialism. So in that type of ideology, they wanted to overthrow that capitalism and promote socialism, that where there is equal sharing of opportunity and there is social justice. But the question is, socialism is not that feasible at this time because man by nature is competitive and they wanted to have more resources, more funds, more power. So this is a spectrum of ideology. The left wing and the right wing. The left wing focuses on anarchism, socialism, social democracy, liberalism, and the center wing, the centrism, neoliberalism on the right, conservatism, reactionism, and fascism. Have you seen the far left and the far right? This is an extreme type of ideology, and the other is an extreme right or right wing ideology. Okay, later on we will talk about one by one. The political spectrum is a graphic representation of political ideologies along a line from left to right. The concept of political spectrum where we get the popular terms left-wing, left-leaning, right-wing, right-leaning. So, have you decided what wing where you came from? Leftist ideas or left-wing ideologies include ideologies that value individual freedom over government control. So these include liberalism, social democracy, socialism, and anarchism. So in this type of ideology, or is a left-wing ideology, it focuses or it values individual freedom, your freedom itself, or himself, or the person, meaning even if the government has this law, they wanted to preserve individual freedom. Next one, rightist ideas or right-wing ideologies emphasize government, power, and authority often at the expense of individual freedom. So these include neoliberalism, conservatism, reactionism, and fascism. So the right-wing ideologies focuses on the government per se, so meaning they wanted to preserve what is best for the whole nation or community and often include in authoritarian rule. So because of the law that is um, implemented and it is very strong and it is very authoritative, then the government or the people cannot intervene. They don't have the freedom to the extent. So individual freedom is not a priority, but a government or a community base is of priority. Centrist ideas combine elements from both left and right advocate more moderate policies. So they advocate more moderate policies because they are ideologies of the center wing. So they use the left wing and the right wing ideology. Left, the liberalist and socialist, they their emphasis is on personal liberty and human rights. Okay, so they have the right to life, liberty, property, and due process of law. They have this. They possess these certain rights. Government regulation of the market. Still, there is a regulation of the market. Example, you cannot sell too much because there is a certain law prohibiting overprice. Government control over essential services and economic activities. So there is a certain regulation with regards to consumption of electricity, consumption of water, the basic services, and economic activities when it comes to when you wanted to build or establish your own business. There is a certain rules or regulation to follow. Envisions an egalitarian society where there is no distinction between people based on economic status or identity. So that is a socialist perspective that there is no poor, there is no rich, all people are equal. Liberalist and socialist view. It seeks a limited role for the government, especially with regard to private matters and individual decision. This is the concept of a libertarian or a liberalist view, a limited role of the government. So there is a certain portion of the person who is or he or she wanted to do. So he is freely to do, but to the extent that there is a certain restriction imposed by the government. So example, that person cannot kill somebody because there is a law prohibiting killing, or there is a law prohibiting stealing. Often advocates political and social change through revolutionary means. So in a liberalist socialist ideology, they wanted to have a change, especially political and social change. Example, those individuals who wanted to overthrow those corrupt individuals, they protest in a legal means. The most extreme views advocate dismantling of the government to be replaced by community-based governance. So this would be the extreme side of the left-wing ideology, the anarchist or anarchism. It means that they wanted to overthrow the existing government to replace by a community-based. Example, this would be individuals who wanted to um, change the current status because they they knew or they have in mind that the rules, the government is not stable or not in order. The center ideology, or the moderate one, combines ideas and principles from both the left and the right. The emphasis, the, emph- the emphasis of this ideology is on balance between the extreme views and ideas. It seeks the middle ground in political issue. Okay? They may lean toward leftist ideas or policies, or may prefer some right-wing ideas or policies, or center-right. So in this type of ideology, people here are on the middle ground. They set aside things first. They think of the crucial situation, the positive and negative consequences.